Hey everyone, my name is Mike, and this is another Fear Online video on how I think the beta could be improved upon. The video itself is me playing one of the sniper rifles, and it's actually a really good and fun gun to use, and I've gotten some pretty good games with it, but this was by far one of the better ones. So, getting right into it, I don't know why there's respawn times in this game, I really don't. It makes sense for demolition, but every other game mode, it just doesn't. You have to wait 5 seconds to respawn, and I think that should be either reduced to something like very, very small, like 1 second, or it should be taken out altogether. It doesn't make any sense that there's a respawn timer in a first-person shooter, especially in game modes like TDM. It just takes away from the flow of the game, and it's just, I think it's pointless. And when I do spawn, one of the things I'd really like to see is how much time left I have on my spawn protection. So either putting a timer at the bottom of the screen or a little bar that diminishes as the 5 seconds go by. It would be really helpful, so that way you know exactly when you stop being immune to damage. I think there should be also an anti-block system in place, because a lot of times, more so when you're being spawn camped, it's hard to get out of doorways because people are kind of sitting there and camping so they don't, waiting for people to come to them, and it's hard to get out of spawn or just other places where people might block doors. So just some sort of system where that doesn't happen would make this game a lot more fun. Another thing that I think should be changed completely is the swapping gun system in game. You press a button and all the guns come up, or you can select what category you want, and then guns come up like a Rolodex vertically. I think that should be changed, that when you press N on the entire screen, you see all the guns you have horizontally laid out, and in categories like primary, then you have all the guns horizontally. You don't have to scroll through anything, and then secondary, horizontally, all the guns there. I think that'll be a lot better and easier to select guns. In addition to that, I think somewhere on that screen there should be the gun stats, so that way you see what gun you've selected, what stats the gun you selected has. So let's say you go from the AK to the M4 in game, you know how much damage you're losing or gaining, what accuracy and range you're losing or gaining. I think that would be really helpful as well. There's a perk in this game, I forget what it's called, but what it does is when you're below 30% health, it starts gaining you health until you're at 30. And it's a great perk, I use it all the time, but the one thing I don't like about it is that when the perk is active and it's gaining you health, around the sides of the screen, the screen flashes red. And every single time that happens, I think I'm being shot at, and I don't know where or why. And then I'm like, oh, it's just the perk. So I think that should be changed so that the flashing around the screen is like a different color, like green or blue, or just something that isn't red, because red is the sign for being shot at, and it's just so deceptive. There's no nade indicator in this game. So for example, you see there, I just threw a grenade, and that's all you see. If someone was close to that grenade, they wouldn't see a little grenade icon on their screen showing them around where the grenade is, and I think that should be put into a game, especially a first-person shooter. It just doesn't make sense that it's not in there. Another thing that, personally for me, I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but I sometimes get confused as to what team I'm on, because I'll look up at the score and I'm thinking, oh cool, we're winning, and then I'll look again, I'll press tab and I'll see the score, I'm like, oh, we're not winning, okay. So I think it would be nice to have like a little green triangle, for example, on the left or right side, so you know what team you're on, so that way it's a little bit easier to distinguish. And then for the Armored Front game mode, I think that the points that you hold should be green, or shouldn't be green and red, they should be blue and red depending on what team you're on, so that way it's easier to distinguish what team holds what, because if you're on red team and then the other team has 3 points, it's all red for them, you're thinking, oh no, never mind, it's not me. But those are some of the things. I do have another video worth of stuff to say, but thank you very much for watching. This has been Fear Online, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.